Hi everyone, it's Scrap Lady here. I am doing my tutorial for my mini album, and this is the album that I made for my niece. I showed two of the albums. One of them, I'm sorry, I'm reaching for right now. One of them I gave to her. I gave her the one that was the sea glass collection paper that I used, and she loved it. I gave that to her to put her honeymoon pictures in, but this was the album, just to remind you of what we're doing here. It's got the flat page and another flap here. Okay, this album was, and then it's got the pocket here, and it's using the hidden hinge binding. This album can be done any way that you want it. You make it your own. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a couple other things down here. You can make it your own. The album that I made for my niece was, the completed album was 9 by 9. And I'm making another one that right now that's 8.5 by 8.5. The completed album will be, again, around 9 by 9. So this particular one that I'm going to show you how to do, I'm going to show you how to do it with a 6 by 6 paper pad. I figure a lot of people have tons of 6 by 6 paper pads usually, but you can do it any size that you want. So because I'm using a 6 by 6 paper pad, I'm choosing to use craft paper on this particular album as my base pages. You can use anything that you want, you know, any colored paper. You just have a solid color for your base, and then you'll cover it with your pattern paper. So whatever that you want to use something sturdy, a good, decent, you know, weight. But if you have a good pattern paper on top, that's going to give you a nice weight also. So this paper I'm using is the craft paper from Joann's that they sell. So the completed album will be 7 by 7. So the pages that I'm doing, okay, and these are the base pages. They're going to be this craft color. The base page measures 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So it's 1/4 of an inch bigger than the 6 by 6 paper. Okay, then the pocket page, and I do 6 pages in each book. You can do as many as you want, as few as you want, whatever you want to do. So the pocket page will be 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I've cut all this stuff out. The large flap page is 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. And the small flap page is 6 1/4 by 3. And then the pattern paper obviously is a 6 by 6 paper, and for the small flap you'll need 2 3/4 by 6. But the sky's the limit with this, okay? As far as the I did it on this one, okay? I decided to make the flap. This flap actually is about a 1/2 inch shorter than the page itself. This page here is, I believe, probably, so this page is 8.5 by 9, and then my flap on this one, okay, would have been cut at 8.5 because it's 8 inches, and you use a 1/2 inch where you score it and fold it over to adhere to the other pages by 9. And then this was the it's finished at 3 inches, but it would have been cut at 3.5 inches by 9. Okay, I could have chosen to do a gatefold kind of opening where you would have had, you know, half here, and you know, two flaps would have opened up, you know, from the middle. You can put this flap on the top, this flap. It doesn't matter. You can use a decorative punch on the edge of them, which is what I'm going to do on this book that I'm going to show you today. And you can, you know, do your flaps at the top if you want to, you know, some flaps opening up from the top, opening from the side. Use your imagination. Make it yours. This is not my design by any means. This is the way I did this book. I did the other book slightly different than this one. So I'm just giving you the basics, and then you take it where you want it. Make it what you want it. I just decided to do a 6x6 one because I thought that would be fun to use a 6x6 paper pad. So I have pre-cut my papers. So I have my base pages. I have 6 of them, and they are cut at 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I'm going to put those aside for right now. I'm going to work with my pocket page, okay, which is 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it. You can do however you want. You're scoring it at a 1/2 inch on each side. It would be scored at a 1/2 inch and 6 3/4 of an inch. But what I do is, and you're going to be scoring it on the 7 1/4 inch side. So what I do is I score it at a 1/2 inch here. Okay, and then I score, and then I flip it over and do a 1/2 inch here. That's just my way of doing it. You can do it any way that you feel comfortable. You just have a 1/2 inch score on each side. So I'm going to do that with all the pages, and then we'll attach those to. Just make sure that when you're scoring it that you don't cut through your paper. That would not be good. So it depends on the thickness of your paper and how much you know that you can do. But it's again, we're scoring on the 7 1/4 inch side. So I just keep flipping it and give it a couple scores. And again, I have 6 pages, so I'm doing 6 of these, and we're going to use the hidden hinge binding. I'm not going to do everything in one video. This is going to be a couple of videos, and I may just hold them and post them all together. It may take me a few days to get these done, rather than posting part 1 and then leave you hanging for 2 or 3 days to get part 2. So for today, this first video, I'm going to make the base pages and hopefully get them covered. And I really only need to, do one to show you how they go. Alright, so for right now, I'm going to put my scoreboard away, and I'm going to crease these pages. And the thought on this is I scored on this side here, so you can see the indent, and then you can see how it's raised over here. You're folding it on the raised side. That's always the best way to give you the most strength in your fold when you score something. Okay, so I am just folding them at the 1/2 inch mark on each side, and then going to and we're going to adhere these to the base page, the 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 inch page. Okay, so I'm just going to use my ATG, whatever adhesive that you like to use, and you just want to make sure that you get it right to the edge, but not on the paper here. Okay, and you go right, just give it another little extra to get it right to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to do that on both sides. And get that. Again, I went a little over on the edge. Get that off of my mat, my paper here. The nice thing about this ATG is that you can easily get it off. It just rolls right off. Alright, so make sure that adhesive isn't over on the edge, the other side, and again I'm going to just put a little bit more to make sure I have it right along the edge. Alright, so that's all good. So this gets adhered to your page that is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, and this forms your pocket page, which is what you're going to use to attach to your hidden hinge. And you just want to line up that edge, the folded edge, with the edge of the paper. Line it right up straight. Okay. Sure. Get it right on the edge, and I just have to redo that. So you start at the top, and again, just make sure you have it right on the edge of your paper so they line up exactly. Okay. Oh my goodness. Not cooperating. Thank goodness for this ATG where you can do it. Huh. You have extra chances. You could use a liquid glue, but I would recommend using some kind of double-sided tape. You can use your red, there we go, your red score tape if you wanted to for this. Not as forgiving like if you mess up like what I did. So then you're going to just bring the other side down and line that up with the other side. And make it even once again. Okay, so any excess, like if it's not laying flat, you can just take a bone folder, which I'm not sure what I did with my bone folder, but that's okay. And you can just straighten it out that way. Okay, so what you end up with is, this is your pocket. One side's going to attach to your hidden hinge, and the other side will be a pocket. Okay, so we'll do the next one. I'll do a couple of these. I'm not going to do them all because you'll get the idea. And then I'm going to actually put the pattern paper on them, and then I will finish up this video, and then I will do the rest of it, the rest of the pattern paper off camera, and then when I come back on for the next video, the pages will all be covered, and we will work on the hinge and the binding, the cover, I should say, not the binding. All right, so here we go. So once again, we're lining this up right along the edge of here. Very, again, easier said than done when you're on camera, you know? Okay, so that goes there. My goodness. All right. Okay, and then you line up the other side. had to recut these pages because I initially cut them at 6.5 and thought that that would be fine, but there was too much of a border. And it depends on your what you like. If you like a wider border, then by all means, you know, use a 1/2 inch bigger than your paper. If you like, you know, a little border, use 1/4 of an inch bigger than your paper. So there we go. That one's done. Okay. And I'm just going to do one more, and then I'm going to put the flaps on. Once you get this going, it just goes really quickly, and it's so easy. And again, please make it your own. You know, yeah, sure, follow this one exactly, but make different kinds of pockets. Make pockets that come from the top, from the side, from the bottom, whatever you want to do. This is just the basic idea, and you can take it and do it however you want to do it. Whatever size you want to do it, you know, is totally up to you. But like I said, I have a lot of 6x6 paper pads, and I thought, well, it would be fun to do 6x6 album where I can just use the full 6x6 sheet of paper and I don't even have to cut it. So I thought that would be really nifty and fun. The only thing I have to cut is for the small flap. I will have to cut the paper for that. Okay, and okay, just making those flat. Alright, so we got the first 3 done. I'm going to put these other 3 aside for now. Okay, so we have our 3 pages that have the opening. Next we're going to take, we'll put those right here, we're going to take our paper that we cut for the flap. And this is 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. And we need our scoreboard again. And we're going to score these on the 6 3/4 inch side. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Once again. So making sure that you're on the 6 3/4 is on here. And we're scoring it just on one side at 1/2 inch. Okay. And I will just score those all while I have my scoreboard, but I'm only going to do 3 of them. And this is great because you can do kind of an assembly line for this. You know, you can do all your scoring, all your cutting, then all your scoring and whatnot. And then, you know, putting everything together, it goes so quickly. And it just is a fabulous album. Looks really super nice. So, alright, so we have that all done. Put my look in there. So this is the large flap, and once again I'm going to flip it over, and on the side where it's not indented but the other side, and I'm just going to fold them on the crease and do all 6 of them. Okay, very, very simple. Alright, just like this. So, I'm just going to take 3 of these, put the other 3 aside with the rest. Alright, so these are my 3 that I just did. Okay, you're going to take the side with the opening. If you decide to do a side pocket, okay, if you want to do on the flap, if you want to do a flap that opens from the top, then you would do it across the top. Okay, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Mine are going to be on the side. Okay, so this is going to adhere not to the inside, not going to put this on the inside, but I'm just going to adhere this to the outside. Okay, so going to put my ATG adhesive on here and run it close to the edge. Make sure I get the edge here. Okay, so this one, again, the way I'm doing mine is where the opening is, but it's just going to go right on top, and you're going to line that up right with the very edge of your paper, so you want it exactly even, top and bottom, all the way through. You want it right on the edge, just like that. Okay, so you have your flap. All right, and that's where your score is. Okay, so we're going to do that again. And the other album that I made, I used a light cream colored cardstock as my base for the album that I just showed you, because I wanted it, the way the paper was, the color of the paper, and I just didn't want to use craft. I'm not a total craft. Some people love craft cardstock all the time and they use it. I think it looks great with a lot of things, but you know, I just wanted that one because I think it was a little more fancy of a book, so I personally liked the cream colored. So that's what I used for that book. For this book, I'm using the craft because I think it's going to be just fine. And I stock up on this cardstock, this craft and all that, when it's on sale at Joann's. As a matter of fact, it was 2 packages for $5, and they have it at Michael's too, the same thing. So there's your flap. They had 2 packages for $5, plus you got an extra 25% off your entire purchase. That was a couple weeks ago, so I bought several of them and stocked up, you know, on my solid color. I actually just bought the craft at that time, and it ended up being so cheap. Again, they're $2.50 plus 25% off of that. It's pretty cool. So that's the time. And the Michaels paper that they have is a little bit thicker than the crafty paper from Joann's. This is what I got. And of course, the insert came out of it. Here's the insert right here. Premium. This is the premium cardstock crafty is what I got from Joann's, and there's 50 sheets in there of the 8.5 by 11, and so that's what I but I'm told that the Michaels paper, their cardstock paper like this is actually a little bit thicker and would be a little bit sturdier. So whatever, and they do have it at Michaels on sale frequently too. So that works out very well. So now I'm going to take my other flap, which is 6 1/4 by 3, and I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch also on the 3-inch side. And oopsie, stuck on my cane. There we go. So I'm going to score that one. Again, I could have scored all these at once while I had my scoreboard out, but just doing it one step at a time. So on the 3-inch side, I'm scoring it again at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I will put that pocket, that flap on, And instead of having the flap go under, this flap I'm going to have go on top, because I'm going to, on the pattern paper that I'm going to use, I'm going to actually do a decorative punch edge on it. I tried it doing the decorative edge on here, but I like it better doing it on the paper that you're using to cover this with, and I'll show you that. So, done with that, and once again, preset at the fold, the score mark, and I'm going to do the 3 of these, and then I will get my paper that I am using to, right, so we'll put those 3 aside, and once again we have our flaps here. This flap is going to go on this side, okay, with the opening. So, put our adhesive on there. Okay, and take this over here and open it up. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to line it up right at the edge of the paper. On the very, very edge, so that it's even. Okay, so this one, like I said, is going to be over. Actually, this is going to have to be cut a little bit. Okay, we'll look at that. I didn't take that into consideration, but if you have it, and that can be fixed very easily. Having this shorter flap over the top, because I made the top flap the exact 6 1/4 inches, I don't have room, because it comes right to the crease, so I'm gonna have to cut this back just a little bit for me to put this in. On this particular one, I want the short flap on the top. The other ones I did the long flap on the top, so it's a preference thing, but that's okay. So we'll just go, and I will just take my trimmer and trim a little bit off of this side, which is very simple to do. So, no worries, no mistakes. You can always make little adjustments like that. Okay. And this one's going to go here. Right along the edge. Alright, so I'm just going to take my trimmer, and I'm going to trim off about 1/8 of an inch. Just a little bit. So, let's see here. This is not a very good trimmer to do this with, but let's see. So, that's where the line is. I don't want to trim off too much. Okay. So what I'm doing is I just lined it up with the edge of my trimmer here. Just took a little bit so I'll know which. So do that, and there, that fits perfectly now. Alright, that's probably about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less. So I'm just using this as my guideline, the inside of my trimmer as my guideline to make them all the same. Okay. This one. Okay. Alright, so that's how we fix that little problem. Is by trimming off just a little bit. Okay? So this way I can have, and the reason why I want these flaps on top is because I'm going to do the decorative edge. So you see the opening here, it's going to go on the binding over here. Okay, so I have all three of them going in the same direction. So now I'm ready to start working with my patterned paper. And I've decided to use there's actually two of these. One of them is by, they're the same thing, but this is the My Mind's Eye Moments, and it's also by Everyday Moments by Teresa Collins. Same exact paper. Not really sure what the deal with that is, but anyways. So this is what I did. I cut this piece 3 inches, and then I did my, it's double-sided paper, which is wonderful, and then I did my decorative edge over there. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to line up, wasn't sure how long I needed it, but this is fine. So that will work out. What I'm going to do is have the decorative, see how the decorative edge overhangs that? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to line that right up so that it is right at the edge, and because it's double-sided, you're getting, you know, a pattern on this side too. When you open it up, it looks nice. So I can actually trim this a little bit. I wasn't sure how much. So this is 3 inches, and so you would do 2 7/8 inches if you're going to do a decorative edge. And that will give you exactly so that you have a little bit of a border around it. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing with this one. Line it up with my, get this on here, line it up with my trimmer edge right there. Okay, so this was just the 6 inches, and we're going to say by 2, and if you're going to do the decorative edge, if you just want it on here, you would do what I said. It would be 2 3/4 by 6 inches. But because I have the decorative edge sticking over the edge of my paper, it needs to be a little bit longer. Alright, so before I put that on there, I'm going to choose my other papers that I want to use to cover my book, my pages with. So just get that out of the way, and I'm going to measure this with the right side of my ruler. Now I cut this down, so this is now 6 1/8 inches, which is fine. The 6 by 6 paper will be totally fine. So I'm going to choose, if I have this here, I'm going to choose what I want for my contrasting paper to go with it, like that. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so maybe this on here, and then I will have two pieces on the inside. So let's see what we're going to do. Love the yellows. So these are just awesome. They're so well coordinated. So I'm just kind of go through this a little bit. Anything will go. Anything. I'm gonna end up using them all anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Realistically, it doesn't make any difference at all. And I just need to make a decision. So if I do that, and let's see. Choosing the paper is like the hardest part for me. You're probably all yelling, choose that one, choose that, no, that one, no, that one, no, that's the best one. Usually what I do is I take all the paper out and then I kind of put them together in the way, you know, because this is double-sided, so kind of, I like that right there. Okay. So, we have that, yeah, okay. I take them all out, and then I can flip them around and take one sheet of each one, and then I can make a decision as to what I want to go with what. Okay, so I think I have them all. What with what? Alright. Alright, so that was the first one. So, I like that, and that will be the inside, and then this one will go here, and let's see. It's just so much to choose from. Yeah, I kind of like that because that goes with that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And what I need to do is, because these don't have a perforated edge, I need to cut these off. So, and the nice thing about the 6x6 paper is that you're just gonna, you don't have to cut the paper. Besides this, you don't have to cut the paper down because you're just going to use the full sheet. Do these two. Yeah, the hardest part is, you know, matching up your papers the way you like them. It is for me anyway. I have a major problem with that. It's like, do I go matchy matchy? Do I? It's like really hard. All right. So these papers are ready, and put the trimmer aside. All right. So this page is going to go, and you can ink your edges if you want to. Totally up to you. I'm not going to on this because we have a lot of dark pages. So this one will go on here, and you just centerize it. Okay. And I'm going to open that up to do that. So put that on there. And you can, for this particular, putting this paper on, you can definitely use a liquid glue that you like, a wet glue. That will totally work for this. Whatever you like better is totally fine. So have this open so that I can see where I'm putting it, and I'm putting it just kind of making the edges even all around, just eyeballing it. Okay, goes right on there. Right. Oh, sticky here. All right, and so that's going to be this page here, and then this page I am going to put just right to the edge of where I punched with the edge punch. Sure, I go right to my edges. Okay, so this one is going to line up because I did the decorative edge. Okay, I want to line up the edge of this with the edge where the decorative edge starts, and it's actually going to go a little bit, it's not going to go edge to edge because of the, let's see how we do here. I'm doing it backwards so that I can see exactly where that is. Let's see how we did. We did good. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to open it up. And this here, either way, doesn't matter. This is going to go like this. And I'm going to leave, I'll show you. Let me just put this one on. Okay. Same thing, we're going to eyeball this, and is there a right side and a wrong? Is it an upside down and a... This was the top. Okay. I don't think it matters, but we're going to eyeball that so we have equal distance basically all around. There we go. And then we're going to attach the next one. taking this off again. Alright, this one is going to go here. And again, eyeballing it to make sure it's even. Okay, so this page, this part here, I am going to leave blank. It's up to you. You don't have to. You can cover this. You could cover it, you know, with the coordinating with this, you know, to kind of have it on both sides. If I were to cover it, that's what personally what I would do. Doesn't there's no right or wrong. I'm leaving it blank because I'm going to put like a stamp that might say journaling or something, and this way you can do some, you know, I can do some journaling over here. So your finished page looks like this. So you open this flap and you open this flap, and that's what you have. Okay, so then we go to the back side. Now the back side of this one has to match. This is going to be the next page. So this has to match what you're going to do on the next page. Okay, that's where my dilemma comes in. Oh, what do I do? So let's see. I don't know. I have such a hard time with this stuff, like I said. Love this. Okay. And then I think I'm going to go with, what am I going to go with? This, for this that I'm going to cut at 3 inches, or 2 7/8 inches, and do my border with that. So that's going to go there. And then on this page, I'm going to do, I think I might just go with this light gray color, kind of like that. And then on the inside, let me do this first, since I have this, since I know what I'm going to do with this one. So I'm just going to cut the edge off of that here. And I think I'm going to, the video's getting pretty long, so I'm going to finish up this one. I'm just going to cover the front of the next page and show you that cut this at 2 7/8. Well, I have it here. Okay, and then I will cut the top off of this one. And alright. So let me get this one onto this page. So this page will be completed. Those are going to go there. And so we're going to make sure that this is in the right direction, because I want these little dragonflies or whatever they are flying in the right direction. So this is this way. And just cut facing me, so I know what I'm doing. Alright, so this one's going to get centerized, yes, centerized, let's centerize, centered on here. Alright, so this page is completely done. Okay, so we have it like this and like this. Okay, and then we flip it over, and that's the back. So we're going to put that aside. Then this one, I'm going to punch it with the border punch that I did right here. It's like, what did I do with my border punch? That's the border punch that I used. So I'm going to do that. So I just wanted to put a little bit different, little bit different twist on this one. And the fun about these is that you do whatever you want. You make it your own. You make the flaps the way you want it. You can add pockets. You can, there's so much you can do with this. It's endless possibilities. Once you know the basics of the book, then you just run with it, like they say. Run with the wind. All right. So this is going to go here. Again, I'm going to line up the very edge so that all you're seeing is just that on the other side. And then a little bit there. Okay. Again, I'm trying to just get my adhesive off so it doesn't stick to everything. I bought this calendar for like $1 or something, and it's just a big desk blotter, and I'm loving it because I rip the sheets off, I make notes on it, and if I have my mat underneath, if I need to use my mat for certain things, for cutting or whatever, I can do that. And it makes it, I love, that I can be watching a video and just jotting notes down on it. And it's better to do this from the back, the way I did the first time. So this way you can see where your line is, and it's not the full, so you leave a little space on either side. It's easier to see it this way. There we go. Okay, so that's that. And then this was the one that I'm going to put here. Actually, it goes this way. So this will go here. And then I will choose my papers for the inside. I don't need to keep you for that, but what you can do if you want to play along with me, you can get caught up and make your pages and then be ready for the next video where I will do the hidden hinge. And there's so many videos out there for the hidden hinge system. You can do it any way. If you already know how to do the hidden hinge, then you do it the way that you know how to do it. Whatever's easier for you. There we go. Alright, so that's what I have so far on this page. Okay, so now I have to just do my papers for the inside of here. And again, I'm personally gonna leave this one blank. You do whatever you want with it. Okay, it's totally up to you. So that's what we have so far. I will keep working on this, finish up all the pages. If you want to, like I said, play along with me, you can complete your pages also, and then I will be making the hidden hinge with the craft paper. So thank you so much for watching, and again, I will be posting these videos once I am done the entire series. It may take 2 or 3 videos to get this all done, but this one's almost an hour, so I think it's long enough, and we will move on with the next one. Alright, so this is part 1 of my mini album. Flap mini album is what I'm calling it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.